at the Flower Ranch in Keller, Texas. I'm with Justin, who is the manager. Hey, Justin.
How you doing?
Thanks for being here with us today. I wanted you to share a little bit of the history. You know, I've lived here over 20 years, and my neighbor said when we first moved here, hey, you need to go check out the Flower Ranch. And I did, and I was just wowed by everything. So give us a little history. 40 years?
We're going on our
Tell the story.
When the initial place first opened, Joe Pipes was the original owner.
Okay.
There was no, he worked for a landscape company.
Okay.
There was no place to buy flowers in Fort Worth.
Wow.
His father had actually owned most of Keller in this area, and he decided I'm going to build a greenhouse. So he did. We started out wholesale only and did that for probably 15 years or so, and then a lady walked in one day and bought flowers, and we decided to open up to the public and have expanded on that tremendously since then.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history, yes.
All right, and tell us, so I believe you're having a special event to commemorate your 40 years.
We are selling a $20 anniversary ticket. So what that'll get you is this coming Sunday the 30th. If you buy a $20 gift certificate, you come in with it, you redeem it on the 30th, we'll have champagne, beer,
Ooh.
mimosa, snacks and food. Also, that ticket will get you wholesale price for the entire day. We're open from 10 to 5 that day.
What?
Yes,
Okay, I am really excited. I'm going to be here, Justin.
Yeah.
Inside, you call this
We call this number one.
number one.
This is our main house
main
here.
house here. And Justin has a whole system, so
We
explain
do.
to everybody how it's organized.
So from this next aisle here, I try to set it up to where I have black poles on this side of the greenhouse,
Okay.
and I have red poles on this half of the house. The black poles will indicate individual pots. You can buy 1s, 2s, 10s, however many you're wanting.
Okay.
The red poles will indicate flats, which are all 20 count flats, sold as is. If you're building containers or pots, I try to set it up to where this entire row going from here all the way down will be trailing items. The next 2 rows of tables will be fillers. And then the outer rim of the greenhouse will be your standalones or your pipes and grill.
Like a hibiscus plant.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. Okay. And the left side, these were all just the flats.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. So there is organization to all of this.
There is.
Justin knows all. Now we are in what you call the basket factory.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right? All right. And we have Stephanie over here working. One of my stories, Justin. So when I moved, remember a million years ago, and my neighbor said, you need to come here. We moved here from Missouri. Very different flowers, plants. I had no idea what was going on. And she said, well, you need to go to the basket factory. And I said, what is that?
What we do back here is she'll make custom pots for the floor like you're seeing here. She'll also do customers' pots. So if you've got a pot that you don't have time to do,
Yes.
you've got an event, party coming in, you can bring them to Stephanie.
Bring it on in.
We measure them by the diameter and we charge $7.50 an inch.
Okay.
It's a great price.
Whatever that comes out to be, that'll be all the
Beautiful.
plants, dirt, fertilized. You just tell her sun or shade.
Right. You got to know that.
Color scheme that you do not like, tell her, and she will make sure it's not in there. And as you can see, she does a wonderful job.
I love it. Take a look at this one. We've got all kinds of beautiful, wow, that's going to be a big one. Hibiscus are in here. We got the potato vine. I love it. It just goes on and on. And is this year round when you guys are open?
This is always here.
Okay.
It mainly runs more in the spring and in the fall.
Okay.
Summertime, it's a little bit, but we just don't have enough traffic this summer.
Sure. Well, it's beautiful. Stephanie, you're doing a fabulous job.
Stand here. We'll give them numbers from every week that we do. We have a scheduled out plan of what's being planted and how many.
Are you recording?
And so if it calls for 100 of 6-inch, we'll build 100 of these trays.
Wow.
And then we'll have a person standing here. They'll run it through the machine. It'll come out on the other side full of dirt. We will take them and stack them and just keep stacking them on a 4-wheeler.
Uh-huh.
And we will move them to whichever greenhouse we see fit or has space. And we'll have another crew that's in there that's usually hand planting, whether that's seeds, plugs, cuttings, millions of different options on that end.
That is impressive.
And it's a lot to keep up with, but we
That's amazing.
We've got it down pretty well.
I would say 40 years, I think you kind of have it down to a science. But I'm going to guess that this conveyor belt thing has been around for a long time.
She has been here for probably 13 years.
Does she have a name?
This one does not.
Oh, we got to
Not
name
yet.
it.
Not yet.
13 years and you don't have a name.
We don't have a name for this one yet.
Okay, we're going to name this baby.
And basically we'll use, so actually the potting soil that you buy from me
Yes.
is the same potting soil that I used to plant in.
Oh.
So what we'll do is we'll drop our potting soil into this bin here.
Okay.
It conveyors up. We'll put the Keller Star fertilizer
Yes.
up in that top hopper, and it'll evenly distribute into the soil. It drops down into this bin, which from here fills up your flats, and she just rolls.
Wow. I love it. One of the questions I hear a lot is paper?
Paper. Do would you like paper in the
Would
bin?
you like paper?
Absolutely.
So here we are. You've got hundreds and hundreds of rolls of paper. I can't even imagine. How many rolls of paper do you go through in this season?
Probably a couple hundred rolls.
What? But I do love that too. So it helps keep the wet out, the dirt out, all those things in your car. So paper is essential as well.
This stuff is hand planted. So
Love
we
it.
sit back here and spend most of our days before spring starts, January through February, hand sticking everything that you see.
That is amazing. I had no idea. You know, we see it on a shelf, and I just like, okay, I never really thought about how it got in the pot. So we're standing in one of your many, many greenhouses where all the behind the scenes happens, and it's just, oh my gosh, this speaks to my heart. I love plants and flowers so much. Anything do you all do as far as recycling?
So you can take any of your plastic that you have, does not matter where it's from.
Okay.
We will take it all. Some stuff can reuse, some stuff we can't.
Oh, okay.
We do have a recycle bin that
Yep.
you are allowed to take or bring whatever you need out of it.
Love it.
We clean it out about once a month. We send it to my Rome facility. They stack it and stack it and stack it until an 18-wheeler will come and pick it all up and recycle everything.
Oh, I love that so much.
We cannot use.
Yes, and I've actually used the bin, so I've not only dropped off, but also picked up. So, you know, a lot of us get those really large pots. We don't want to fill the whole thing with dirt, so I come get extra
Yes, ma'am.
pots out of the recycle bin,
Use it
fill
as a
it
filler.
up. Yeah, use it as a filler. That's where we are now at the store.
We are in the perennial section.
Perennials, I love them. Tell people what perennials are.
Your perennials are going to die in the winter, but come back for you in the spring, summer, and fall, and just keep doing that life cycle for you.
And I mean, dollar for dollar, perennials are amazing. I use them as much as I can.
They have blown up in the past few years. A lot more people are starting to go with perennial flower beds
Yes.
and leaving small pockets for annual color. It's a smarter thing to do, in my opinion. I mean,
is.
they get big and they take up space, and why not? They come back for you every
I
season.
know. And you do have, like, you've got this giant section, but you can share, I'm sure. There are perennials for shade, there's
Yes,
some for
ma'am.
sun, there's
So-
something for everybody.
The way that I set it up is, it might be hard to see, but that first table here, going all the way down, is going to be a shade setup.
All right?
And once you get to these next few rows going this way, all of this is going to be sun setup.
Gotcha.
So we try to keep it separate for you. Everything is awesome. I make the signs for everything that you buy from me. I set them up for a North Texas style grow season.
Yes.
Everything does come, most of the stuff comes with those little tags in pots, but you got to be a little weary of them because those sometimes are printed from Maine to Florida, California, so they may tell you the wrong information.
So these plants are not grown here.
These are grown here,
Oh, they are.
but they come with certain tags sometimes that we have to put in there.
Oh, okay.
Like azaleas, for instance, are shade here, but the tags on them will say sun.
I see. Yes.
So you got to be a little careful on that. As far as what my sign says on the table is what it'll do in this area.
Right, which is really, really helpful, and I love that. Because Texas summers, especially for those of you moving to Texas, it's a whole nother world.
It is.
Especially
It
when
really
we get to
is.
summer.
Yes.
And I'm often talking to Justin and his staff about, because we all know the sun moves too in the summer, and what is really going to work when it's July and it's 1,000 degrees
Yes, ma'am.
here. So do tell us, that's one thing that you guys are known for, is you come in, you have a question about a plant, if this sign doesn't tell us everything. You guys have a very knowledgeable staff.
We do a lot of, it comes down to, we've grown everything that we can. We've learned, we've lost, we've learned. It's a game,
Yeah.
you know.
And the weather can be unpredictable.
The weather can be very unpredictable. You know, sometimes you lose greenhouses or products in houses, and that happens, but it's all part of it.
Navigation is very, very helpful, especially because we do have crazy weather. And I know, like, recently it got warm very quickly.
It has.
And I had to learn moving here from the Midwest. Wait a little bit, because even though the sun comes out, it can get cold again.
It does not matter. Texas weather. Next week you might freeze.
That area we're in.
We are in the shrubs section here.
All right, all things shrubs. Also have them for sun and for shade and all around the house.
We've got everything set up for sun options, shade options. If you name it, I should have it.
Okay. All the things.
Yes,
Besides-
all of these, we kind of try to stick to about a 3-gallon range.
Okay.
Every now and then we might dip into a 5-gallon, but the majority of it's 3
All
gallons.
of the plants, everything needs some sort of fertilizer and flower food and all that. And
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
and again, how many years have you been doing this, Justin?
I've been doing this for my 14th season.
14 years. So tell everyone, what is your recommendation for the fertilizer for these beautiful things?
So we have always stuck with Color Star.
Color Star.
My customers seem to love it.
I love it.
It has been a great product. A lot of my customers call it crack for flowers because it just works so dang good. Kind of sells itself.
I can attest. I have
it's a
used it.
fantastic
Here and show us, how is this all set up? Because I come in and I have like 10 flats. Where do they go? How does this work?
So we have a numbered shelf system. So what we will do is, as soon as one of my employees or myself grabs something from you, we will set it up on a number. We'll come back and tell you, you are number 6.
Right.
And that way, in case you have something else afterwards and another employee comes and grabs it from you, you could just say, my stuff's on 6. We'll hold it up here until you're ready to check out. We will call it like he is doing here. He is calling it to her. And then as soon as they're done with that ticket, they will all grab it and run it out to their vehicle.
And run it out to they want to look up things online. I know you have a lot of things and information.
do.
How do they find you online?
So go to theflowerranch.com.
Okay.
You can also go on there and type in sun, shade. You can filter all the way through everything. And it'll be set up just like our tags are. You can click a picture. It'll tell you whether it's sun, drought tolerant, the color schemes that it comes in. So it kind of helps you get a layout on your flower beds.
Yes.
You can make a list off of it, and you can bring it in, hand it to me, and say, this is what I want.